Hey, Gip. I'm alright.
Right, Leo?
Been alright. Just, no. What happened? Oh, so that's, I heard something about pirates. I heard... Really? Well, is he alright, at least? Well, is he alright, at least? Yeah, nothing can bang up that man. We, right.
I know the droids
Yeah,
were
looks
working
like
on it
I
overnight,
missed some
so...
stuff.
Yeah, they had a good look at it. I had like 2 astromech.
Yeah. Okay, no worries.
Hmm.
Right, make sure the speeds are ready as well as
Hopefully
the,
it's not
X-wings are.
permanent.
Yep, sure thing.
Hex, this one's good to go back into service in about
Yes,
2
yes.
hours.
Yeah.
It's got to be reloaded and
Alright.
refueled. Jax, your hunk of junk's
Alright.
ready to go whenever.
Skiffs and missile boats. Given it nowhere, but we handled them pretty rightly.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything less. Haven't heard anything back from Wei yet.
Yeah, I asked about him yesterday when I got back. Hester said he hadn't had any.
Cheeky.
If you ask me, I'm getting a little worried.
Days. Not even a
Oh, hey
radio
guys.
communication.
Hey.
Mate.
Maybe it wasn't wise to let them go.
General was pretty adamant about the barium, and I mean...
Got a mail-in.
Yes.
How are your wounds recovering from the other mission?
I'm alright, man. Just a little bit of
Alright.
scabbing is all.
Alright.
Looks like everything's in order.
Alright. What about the
Excuse
ship
me, I
out
need
in
to
the hangar?
grab
Is
a
that
drink.
ready to go again?
Yep, I've just said 2 hours on rotation. It just needs to be refueled and equipped. I'm gonna go and check
Excuse
on
me?
the starfighters. The
Sorry,
other
Jack.
the other ones.
It's alright.
Alright.
Yeah, I beat up the ship a little. It's alright, made it back in one piece.
Did you ever get your flight suit?
Yeah, yeah. They got us a bunch of them.
Okay. Alright, good. Anyone
Wore it
else
yesterday. Saved my life. That helmet.
Oh, that's good. I know they can be kind of uncomfortable at first, but you get used to them.
I thought it was a lot better than flying in my pants.
Yeah. Well,
I'll never
material can
understand
be.
why.
I'll try it sometime. It takes two.
I've given it many times.
Well, it's not for everyone.
That's
I
what
really-
they say.
but-
But yeah, anyway, I just don't know how much longer he can be gone for me to keep a good mood about it.
Yeah, I'm a bit. Really hate if something happened to him and none of us were there to help. I mean, they could have been captured or anything. Anything could have happened.
Not even that. Going out into wild space is dangerous. I trusted that he had a good reason, but
See? I know you should. No, everyone's so eager to jump on top of the. A bit of caution. Believe in it.
well,
So wrapped up in it.
I'm sure it was important, and I'm sure that it needed to be done, but and sometimes we do have to take risks, and this is the price of doing it.
Well, we didn't lose a good man for.
I guess we'll just have to wait.
Yeah, guess we will.
Oh, you two. Leo. Gosh,
Yeah.
looks like there's a shuttle out there that just landed. Might
do you
be for
mean?
you two.
Why would it be?
Shuttle.
Why don't you come and have a look?
Yeah.
Don't really recognise it.
The shuttle just came and landed here.
Yeah. Oh, so what are them old ones?
Ah.
Oh,
They look familiar.
just gonna check it out, eh? Maybe here for you two.
Looks like
Certainly not me, but I think I know who it is for.
looks like somebody from Altuin.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's not going to be as luxurious as the Phantom. I know you've grown very accustomed to that.
Well, I think I'll manage.
Your Highness.
Yes, what is it,
Your Highness,
General?
under the royal proclamation made for the democratic referendum on Altuin, I have been dispatched by the court to beg your attendance and your attention in the capital. I am charged to convey you with all speed to the capital. Please, come with me. We have space for a companion, but we must hurry if we're going to get there on time.
Well, guess I'm going to Altuin.
Sounds like a good time.
Back to that old rock.
Well, guess I need to bring a companion. General, it seems that I'll be gone for a little bit. I probably won't be long.
I understand that you have planetary business.
Head up.
You're free to go. Good luck
Gosh.
to you.
Would you like to go back
How
to
did I
Altuin?
know you'd wrap me into this?
You're the only one standing there, Kosh. It's not really that narrow of a decision.
I was gonna ask anyway. I like that bloody planet of yours.
I didn't want to go anyway last time I was there. My ship got taken.
You have your own ship, Starblaze.
Love you too, Leo. Have fun.
Thanks.
Well.
General?
Your Highness, may the Force go with you.
May it go with you.
Hey, there's a welcoming party.
After you, Your Highness.
Hey,
course.
Starblaze. I need you to go over some charts with me.
Bring back a
Thanks.
souvenir, Kosh.
Yeah, I'll find something.
Good luck wherever you're going.
I wonder if this is good news or bad news for you, Leo. You'd think they'd have a fancier ship, Prince of the Planet.
moving.
After you. It's your planet, after all.
Deputy Prime Minister?
Your Highness,
General.
cousin, it's good to see you again.
To see you too.
You don't remember me, do you?
I have a lot of cousins. But I remember everyone. Your
The last time I
Gert,
saw
right?
you, I could have chalked you up to the top of my boot.
Well, it's good to see you.
Good to have
As
our
is you, General.
liberator and fearless leader back home. Highness, there are some
Please,
matters that require your immediate attention. First of which is that Prime Minister Lord Algeron has resigned.
Really? Why?
Yes, unfortunately. With regards to the institutional referendum, Highness.
I see. Well, he was
Which means
always,
that as Deputy Prime Minister, I am acting in his capacity, and with your permission, I would like to form a new government.
well, then go right ahead.
Your Highness, I serve the House of Arento.
Yes, yes. It's an honor to accept your government. So the the fireworks.
Election
Haven't seen
day.
those around here.
People are excited.
I haven't seen such excitement in far too long.
The people of Altu City have poured out to show their support for you, Your Highness. There's no doubt in my
Really?
mind that you will win.
Well, if it's what the people want.
I understand that you've met before General Langster, who the Parliament has seen fit to make the chairman of the Defense Council.
And I wouldn't find a more fitting selection, General.
Kind, Prince. It's good to see you again.
As is you. You've earned that position more than anyone.
Thank you. I'm
This
sure-
is my friend Kosh from the Coalition. He
I
will be
remember him.
accompanying me.
Prime Minister.
To meet you, Mr. Kosh.
Pleasure's all mine.
The ministers are awaiting your Privy Council. Shall I lead the way, Your Highness?
Lead the way.
Just like that, huh?
The streets
Wave
have
your
been
hand and the
cleared.
government is-
That is how it is sometimes. It's nice to see this place all clean. Not like last time.
The path has been cleared for you. The entirety of the square is empty.
Right.
Last time I seen it, I was getting shot at.
Yeah, well, the galaxy works mysteriously, doesn't it, Kosh?
That's right.
Oh, Your
Battlefield?
Highness, there's a bit of a crowd up ahead. I recall that you're not much of one for crowds and cameras, but we couldn't avoid it.
Well, I'll make my appearance then.
Give him a wave and a smile, huh?
You might want to fix the hair.
Oh,
A cape with you.
How was the flight, Mr. Kosh?
yes,
Fine, Prime Minister. It's
Good.
a fine shuttle.
Okay. Right.
Smile and wave, Your Highness. I'll eat it up.
I hope so.
You're here to these people, you know, Prince.
I don't consider myself that, but
Very good. Ministers are waiting for your council inside the palace halls.
of course.
Ah, Prince Arento. I am Lord Chamberlain Mob Nord. It is my pleasure. Thank you for coming here, especially on this auspicious day. This election is in the bag, Prince. My Prince. Please, this way. The rest of your ministers are waiting.
Well, I always did appreciate the enthusiasm of the Lord Chamberlain.
We will sweep, Your Highness.
Your Majesty.
Hello,
How are you
Don't be
doing
shy
on this
of
fine night?
Minister.
I am your Minister for Harmony. I am so glad that you
course.
could return. Come. We have much to discuss.
Leo,
Of course.
Leo, what if the rebel cause, Prince
Funny
Leo?
thing around here.
Once again, as your father, and to march forward the will of the people of Altuin as your humble stead.
The Keeper of the Seal. It's good to have your support. It's good.
Indeed.
Your Grace. It is an honor to be in your presence. I am the Minister of Agriculture, just up Sunford.
Can't
I
say
have
I'm
no
familiar
doubt.
with you.
Newly
Appointment of the
appointed
new
to this.
parliament, my lord.
I see.
I am sure tonight's election shall go as planned for all of us.
Well, it's a pleasure to have your support.
Thank you, Grace.
Right this way.
Prince Arento and company.
Secretary.
It is good that you could make it. It's a auspicious day for our people.
It's good to see you.
It is good to see you as well. I'm excited to read the reports as they come in about the referendum.
As am I. Our people have a grave decision to make today.
Indeed, I believe your cabinet and court set up a briefing room here with live reports from the districts.
Of course.
Your chair, my lord.
You, please.
Of course.
Watch the door.
Paintings of all the old houses.
Ministers, please take your
Precepts.
seats. My lord,
Well,
we thought it most the opposition leader be invited to spectate our camp.
No, that's quite appropriate. Well, I guess we're here to receive ministerial reports.
Oh, my lord, the election is currently beginning. At the evening hour, as chosen by our ancient ancestors. Let me direct your attention to what has been placed in front of you. Here are the 7 districts of the planet of Alturin mapped. These 3 represent the capital, clustered as is typical. These 4
Right.
represent the rural regions. The cause for the vote of monarchy has been colored red, and the Republican cause has chosen the color of gold. As the results come in from the various districts, the blocks will be colored. The 7 districts are formed together in a congress. The majority takes the win. Only 4 needed.
Right, and how are we looking before Election Day? Any polls, anything like that?
The polling data is superb. Your influence over the independent vote, especially the urban vote, is absolutely fantastic. You have them in the bag, my lord. Your Highness.
Secretary, Secretary, you appear to have a different opinion. I'd love to hear it.
Well, I wouldn't like to say too much before the votes are counted, but my coalition is confident in our victory in the referendum. Your Grace? When you pull
Like I
such
said, Your
a
Highness.
small crosstab, Lord Chamberlain, you'll see polls can be easily manipulated.
Well, the Minister for Harmony is responsible for ensuring the sanctity of our election.
Of course.
Well, regardless, our people will speak tonight. Please, are there any other matters that need addressing while we wait for results to come in?
None of more importance than this, Your Highness. In fact,
Right.
I might recommend that you take a spare uniform.
Right.
I think the people would like to see you in your family's traditional white on this day.
I agree. Lord Chamberlain,
Yes.
can you
yes.
have the arrangements
Oh,
made
me?
for, yes, may you have the arrangements made for a spare of my outfit? I didn't pack it.
Of course, with regality and honor. I'll see to it immediately. This is an auspicious day. You should be more excited.
Of course, I admire the enthusiasm of the Lord Chamberlain's office.
Here to serve.
While the Lord Chamberlain is handling that, how has rebuilding efforts gone?
My lord, I'll speak to the urban centers. That which has been damaged has been repaired. We have enjoyed the support of our allies in the Coalition of Free Planets, who have sent us a healthy amount of aid, although the local economy has done all it can, and in fact has been greatly bolstered by the brief conflict, although we mourn our losses. The reconstruction has bolstered a construction sector and has increased the output of our industry and made many a wealthy man. As to the rural districts, I believe the Minister of Agriculture will have some thoughts as to the current situation outside the capital.
The rural region sustained sub-damage during the Imperial occupation, but it has been mostly somewhat brought back. That is all.
Indeed, that's where the Austrian Republican army fought. Mostly guerrilla fights. Not a lot of heavy weaponry out there in the farms and forests. It was good.
Indeed.
I would have torn us up.
Any word on the location of Pariah?
The Ministry of Internal Harmony has, through a careful program of education and demobilization, developed several leads through its interviews with members of the former Imperial Auxiliary. We believe he has relocated to a poor planet outside of the Imperial capital, where he rules in name only.
I see. Well, perhaps one day it would be prudent to bring him back for a trial.
If it is
Press pull, Mr. Kosh. Press pull.
See. Being a
Have
bit,
there been any lingering... go ahead.
No.
Have there been any lingering questions from the press?
Well, they all want to know whose shirts you wear, my lord.
I'm sorry?
What brands you wear.
Your Highness,
I guess they're about to
the
find
room
out.
is ready for you. Your clothing has been...
Of course. One moment, Prime Minister.
Lord?
Supreme privacy, of course. Complimentary wine as well, though I would recommend you save it for the celebration. My lord,
Of course.
Your Highness. Isn't he just fantastic? So,
That's right. And colleague as well. Both work in the same unit. That's correct, but he is the staff officer for our unit, the intelligence officer.
His Highness, the Sovereign and Commander-in-Chief of the planet of Halcyon, is far more capable than the job tenant.
Afraid you'd have to take that up with the commander-in-chief and perhaps the general in charge of our command. Can't speak.
I will instruct the Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs to lodge the necessary complaints, although I suspect they won't listen.
Your Highness, I would ask who you're wearing, but the Prince of Altoine needs no introduction.
Oh, thank you, Lord Chamberlain. Shall we return?
Of course. Yes, Your Highness. This way.
Done an excellent job.
Well, there's no doubt in
course
my
he is.
mind that His
Allow me.
Highness is an excellent commander.
Please.
There's that smartly dressed suit again.
Yes, well, they always did keep spares, Kosh.
You wear it well, Prince.
Extremely well.
What were we discussing?
Various matters of state, my lord. The reconstruction.
Your
I see.
Highness,
Yes.
it appears that results are first coming in from Altu City.
Now let's see them.
Pulling them up now,
we go.
Your Highness.
Altu City has a perfect voting base for us. This should be good to see.
Let me see here.
Say in action.
Democracy in action.
Time since I watched a come in.
You're the
He's
local
always
hero of Altu himself.
thrilling.
The
Bit of a
people here
cultural-
are fine. They will do and make the right decision.
Phenomenon on
Right,
Pimp, right?
okay.
Cultural
Lord, it
celebrations,
appears
cheering.
Altu City First District is reporting in 40%. It appears that the vote is even between Republicans and monarchists.
They're just split voters. This is only initial results. This will go
It's
to
to
our
be
favor.
expected, my lord. They start counting the outskirts of the cities first. Your loyalty base is the internals of the city.
Nothing to worry
Of course. Right.
They will come to their senses, I am sure of it, Lord.
Mind if I stand, Your Highness?
Of course.
Yes, let's take a look now.
Prince,
Alright.
how have you been since you last went to the planet?
We've been well.
Wrong button.
Mainly working in the coalition. Now,
Mr. Stonfran.
things are looking...
Lord, we are receiving early
yes.
reports from
General
2nd
Secretary.
District, Altu
I've
City.
had some of my constituents. Oh,
Wait, results.
They are still coming in, but too early to tell. Only at 5%.
5%
Higher than
reporting, nothing.
Expected.
No matter there.
as I was saying,
A
Mr.
small
Stonfran,
difference.
some of my
Coalition,
constituencies
how have they
have
been?
reported that there was a blight
They've been doing
in
quite
the
well.
7th district.
Congress has
We're wondering
been
if the
working
Ministry
hard.
of Agriculture
fight
could
the Empire.
look into it.
I
Good.
had heard it. Then an
So you
astute
say that
donor
you're on the up
had
foot
donated
when it comes to the planet.
a large sum of credits to assuage the
Seems like,
concerns.
for the moment, we are.
I believe that's the problem, Minister.
Good, good.
Slow.
The outskirts never receive investment, only compensation. But I guess it's better than nothing.
You,
We
Mr.
take
Gore,
over your efforts.
I remember you when you were last here.
Further reports from 1st District, Altu City.
You fought quite well.
Now reporting 65% with a slight monarchist lead.
There we are.
Most
As
excellent
expected,
result,
Your
my
Highness.
lord.
We'll keep
Such a
watching it
cause.
then.
The 10-year vintage shall be unleashed tonight.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we can call the 1st District safely. 65% reporting in.
I wouldn't say safely, Prime Minister. We want to make sure every vote is counted. There's quite a lot of people in the city.
Will be counted.
And they will be.
We've already won the district, though.
The people of Altu will not abandon their sovereign. There is no reason to be concerned.
I could not agree more. Your Highness,
Indeed.
Altu City has fallen in line with you, as expected.
After that speech you
What
gave,
were
what else
the-
can we expect?
What were the percentages again? You said 65% and then...
1st District, 65%. 2nd District, 5%, my lord.
We'll keep watching then.
They're anxious, huh?
You know, Prince, that speech you
Your
gave
ministers,
during the liberation of the
anxious.
city?
I think everyone's... Yeah, yes, the speech.
Use that for recruitment. But since our recruiting numbers have been
Why
under
is this machine
by
working so slow?
500%.
The machine is
Well,
slow.
that's good. We...
The people are moved
Well,
by
I see it as more evidence that having a single strongman in power might move people the wrong way. If we can increase recruitment by 5,000% with one speech, well, you know what they say. Pariah wasn't born in a vacuum, or was he created in one?
Come on, how much work?
The House of Arento has a proud democratic tradition. A constitutional monarchy.
There we go.
How to explain Pariah?
My
Here's part of
lord,
Surrender.
I have further results coming in, which I am happy and
Not good
humbled
news.
to report.
Well,
Altu City now reporting 80% of the votes. 60% in favor of. One moment, let me check here. There we go. 60% in favor of monarchists, 40% for the Republic. Alto City 2nd District reporting 25% of the vote, with the Republican leading.
The 2nd District has always been a complicated matter, Your Highness. It's nothing to worry about. The younger generation is more influenced by media of different types, especially hollow media, of which the Republicans have been, well...
We don't have to justify the will of the voters, Lord Chamberlain.
The younger people know not the way of the House will enter.
Oh, can we call the 1st District then?
The Altoonian people
reporting.
are a proud people. They will not abandon those who have led them for millennia.
I'm fine with calling the 1st District.
Right.
Very good.
1st District, Alto City, is to be called in favor of the monarchy.
Yes, excellent.
There we go.
Excellent.
As expected.
Excellent work, my lord.
Prince.
They're just very eager.
House of Rento has triumphed once more. Now, let's see if we're getting any new results. Okay. No. How would you walk?
How many
There we go.
people registered to vote this election?
We had quite an
We are
increase in our own
getting
Republican
preliminary
coalition.
reports from Alto City.
That's a good question.
3rd District. They're reporting a lead.
We believe it'll be a historic turnout, Prince.
No data yet.
Mathematics and history.
2nd District reports half of votes tallied, with a still minor Republican lead.
I wouldn't worry about that. It's we'll catch up.
Right.
Still have 50% of the votes to count.
Second District's always been trouble.
That's right. That's right.
That's because it's been ignored by the previous administrations.
I don't like these new computers. They don't work as good as the old ones.
Been influenced by one that would wish to be.
Surely that's not the case.
If you
I would
believe
hope
that
not,
we're going to
but
have a
one can
straight
assume.
administration immediately after the referendum, you're mistaken. It's not a election.
Well, either way, it's not
Alright.
called yet.
Your
It's-
Highness, did I
just
hear you
give it
asking
time.
about the number of registered voters?
Yes. I believe the Secretary partially answered my question.
My apologies. The Minister for Internal Harmony should have that answer for you.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What's our registered voters? So,
We have registered
Let me get a
approximately
read on that.
93% of the population.
well,
Bloody fair
it's very,
referendum then.
it's very impressive.
The young man will learn to appreciate the guidance that the House of Arento has brought our planet. There's no need for concern. Okay. Goodness, right, okay. Lord, we are receiving further reports from 2nd District. Shows 75% reporting, with Republicans up by 5%.
That's
3rd District reporting 30%. Monarchists up by 10.
great news. It's great news.
Very, very good news. Expected news. The polling
Yes,
data in the 3rd
aye.
district has always been positive.
The legacy citizens' votes are now being counted clearly. We are doing well. These people
Certainly,
won't
the
forget
second
their
district
days.
is still far too close to call. Only 75% have reported the second district cannot yet be called.
75% is still enough to be offset in a certain light.
How much of the district? What's the lead? 5%, right?
5% Republican lead in the second district.
I believe
And it
we
did
should
count.
call it,
Voted
actually.
for
We
the
called it
vote.
when it was in your favor in the first district. Second
Well,
district
the
looks
first
to be
district
kind of
was Republican,
Republican.
more
Not at
points.
75.
That's 80%, that's right.
We have the polling data of it. District 2 was polled to be for the Republicans. Current results seem to favor that.
Oh, polls don't
I
determine
see no
anything.
reason but to let it run.
We go wholeheartedly.
Minister of
Well,
Harmony.
Regardless.
Yes, Your Highness.
The that district, the one with the 5% lead, is it
District 2.
are enough of the votes left to count to where it could go in either direction?
Technically, it is still within the margin of error.
Then
With a 5% lead with more than 15% remaining, a
Then I
deviation
think
of
it's-
10%.
then I think it's agreeable to wait.
Yes, I concur.
Of course.
I couldn't agree
Of
more.
course, my lord.
Call it doesn't
Navigating
counting the votes.
stars depends
No,
on
it
its
doesn't.
leader.
My prince, are
Well, we
you
don't wanna get-
parched?
Yes.
Would you like
I'm sorry.
Would you like some food? Are you hungry? Do you need any water?
You hungry, Kosh?
Starved.
Let's see if you got any news coming in
Then-
now.
We will take some food then.
I will go to the royal kitchen and tell them to whip up.
And
Right.
on an election night, Pantorans, we're all eating at home. I mean, getting it even.
Then maybe some food for everyone.
Alto City Second District
Oh,
is reporting 95% with Republican lean of 6.7.
I believe we can
Metrics
call
are very
second
good in
district
that
now.
district.
I believe that is agreeable.
Alto City Third District
This is unexpected,
reporting
but
60%.
it's okay.
Monarchist leading of 3%.
Ah, see?
3% in the 3rd district.
I'm not worried.
3%.
Are you worried? It's just preliminary polling, and not everyone's gotten to the voting booths yet. It's
Based on what
patience.
the second district. Yeah, I think the
All right, patience. Time is all it takes. Okay.
I
The
think
third
it's going to be very
district-
close too.
I'm not
Kosh.
worried.
The 3rd district is populated mostly
sound
with
worried,
middle-class
Lord Chamberlain?
bureaucrats.
No, the people of Altoid will not forget
I'm
to
not
who
worried at all.
their loyalties lie. There's no need for concern. You must remain steadfast, as your father did during the Rift Wars. Yes. You're very, very strong.
Yes, House Arento rings strong through the minds of the people. They won't forget. They'll come to the polls.
That's right.
Okay, we're receiving information from the Outer Rim, 4 rural districts. No concrete information yet. Votes are simply still coming in.
More
We-
sporadic cities and towns out there. It's to be expected.
Yes, of course.
I can assure you this rural region
Of course. So,
General.
is there enough food for
report
everyone?
as we expected.
Well, if you wish me to get more for everybody, then I may.
Let's
For now,
get a
just-
spread for everyone.
Of course.
I shall abstain. I do not believe eating in front of the sovereign to be an endeavor of great honor.
I as well. I'm tasked currently with this election. It's taking up most of my patience and brain power, but it's all right.
Well,
Everything's fine.
Well, if anyone is hungry, you may get food.
I'd like some food.
I'll happily eat a slice of this pie.
Your Highness, do you mind if I smoke?
I'm not quite hungry.
Yes, you may.
Someone
Don't
get me a damn
forget.
tabac stick.
During the war, your father remained in place at the palace with the civilian populace. No one can ever forget that. The people will come to their senses. I am sure.
Kosh, I used to be appraised to, or appalled by secondhand smoke, and then I had to meet Hester,
Sure, I haven't helped.
and then I kind of just got used to it.
Is there latest data about the election? Anything new coming in?
I wish I'd brought
Just keep your calm, won't you?
I'm trying.
pie.
This computer doesn't work. Altu City 3rd District is reporting in... I can use the computer myself, thank you. Reporting 90%. Monarchist tilts. 4.5%. And Road District reporting...
Don't worry about
in 25% with Republican leaning.
Oh, can we call the 3rd District then?
Yes.
I'm fine with it.
I see it agreeable.
3rd District for the monarchy!
Aha!
I like your tattoos.
Very refreshing. At least I
Thank
think
you.
so.
They give me an idea of great
Baltic
power
City has
and
always
strength.
been monarchist stronghold.
Most
I
excellent.
wouldn't say that. And the markings of my family
Good
tradition
people
of
they
blacksmith.
are. It was always expected. You put up a good
We're
fight.
leading by
Is that
one
what your
district,
people
my
do?
lord. A
That's
victory.
what your people do then?
With 4 more to go.
Our culture, we mark our familial tradition. Work on our faces.
Yes, my son used to paint his face as well as a child. I thought it was most interesting. I'd see if we've got
Quite the
any new
same,
reports coming in. Okay.
Showed that.
Lord Chamberlain.
Did no one check this
Yes,
computer
you smoke?
before it was used?
No, I refuse, personally.
Does anyone here smoke?
I smack
Yes,
my
Prime Minister.
Stick to the clothes, you know.
Can I bomb a stick?
We're receiving news now.
Let me see if I have one.
4th District reporting 50% with 10% lean in favor
Seeing
of...
it.
The computer gave out. Why is the screen come?
It's the other
Like
button.
I had one left over. Here you are.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Kosh.
The Republican lead by 10%.
Do not be nervous.
This doesn't make any sense.
Surprised I had one left on me. Usually
We had a
have
strong-
Taking the presence as a sovereign
Just
used
throwing
to
them
be a
involved in the
crime
rural
in
area?
my day.
Where did your polls?
A very reputable and trustworthy pollster. One that I know you don't use.
Well, didn't you say
And
that the
enough of-
Altoone News
enough of
Network
it.
was reporting 5 districts in favor of the monarchy?
I did. And they are.
I guess we'll see.
And Space News was reporting 7.
It's
You know,
quite a positive outlook. You'll see.
I read on the HelloNet that young people on Altoone are coming around in the idea of a monarchy. I'm sure that these
Good people.
strapping young men here also voted in favor of the monarchy. Very naturally, of
Most men
course.
probably,
Yes, almost in a
And, you know,
macabre way.
something, you know,
Did you remember to
sometimes you
mail
have
in your
a-
vote?
Let's see if we've got
you have
any.
a family meal at
Yes,
a
yes, I did.
home.
We also put out
You
a
know,
press
sometimes
statement
there's
about mail-in
constituency
votes
parties. There's hundreds of people
to inform the
in the
prince.
district, in the constituency, and everyone's different parties and all
My
these things.
lord,
And, oh,
I have
well,
news to
independents,
present to you.
members.
7th
have
District
my
now
mic.
reporting 20% with
We need
an
positive.
80% lead in favor of His Majesty.
Ah, ha, ha.
20%.
Most
That means
excellent
only the
There's still-
wealthy people voted first. That seems to be
Well, there's
expected.
still 80% to go.
So
Quite a
it's-
cynical outlook.
Why is it that the wealthy
Well-
people would vote first? I don't understand.
They have more to gain
There
from their
is-
connections
there
of
is
familial
still-
connections, Prime Minister. Do you see many,
Yeah.
men
The
of,
There are
peasantry
still
feel a
many
less
votes to
connection.
means here in your
Prime
court?
Minister.
The peasantry feel a connection to their sovereign, I'm sure.
Indeed.
I couldn't agree more. It supports the data.
My lord, I
As
know
long
the
as it cannot
peasants
be
quite
broken.
well. I've spoken to them before. They all support you unequivocally.
I'm sure.
They have a very funny way of saying it. Thick accent.
Perhaps
They're
the
fine
tenants on
people.
your
They
farm
know who to vote for.
won't say that
Yeah,
to your
they do.
face, Prime Minister.
Perhaps
Of course they would. They're
after
good
the,
people.
Still practice
Great
tenant
people,
farming.
even.
Perhaps
They wouldn't
after the
lie.
referendum.
It's
Honest
Farmers don't
on its
lie.
way
That's a common. That's known in polls and the data.
The tenants even get their own vote.
Yes. Yes.
Universal suffrage, tenant farming.
Universal suffrage. I'm not familiar. That's certainly curious.
Well, the Bill of Rights that currently exists offers a census suffrage, Mr. Kosh.
Oh, census suffrage.
I
So
will
the
receive
tenants, the
new
household
report.
leader of the tenant houses, are casting one vote.
4th District reports
So so if there's 5 members of a tenant farm,
88%
only one vote.
with leaning 7%
Something like that.
in favor of the Republicans.
What?
They've always had doubts. Those farmers.
Perhaps it's
Maybe-
time
Should we
to
call
make
it, my lord?
And the miners as well. Where do you think all the
I've-
wealth to make all those Altoine heavy weapons came from?
It seems fair to call it.
Easily
Well,
manipulated.
I'll pass on the information.
Propaganda. That's all I'll say. That's the only
The
conclusion.
4th District, rural, has been called in favor of the Republicans.
Hey!
Relax
I
yourself.
think
Pool General.
that if these peasants were more well versed in decorum and tradition, perhaps they would understand their role
When
in
we
the
win the
system
election,
better.
we should probably start a mass education campaign, or at least push for it out in the more rural areas. Maybe that'll help. Yes.
That won't be
We could
necessary.
build the
Boarding
Leo Arento
schools.
University.
I believe that would be-
Yes.
The expansion
big
of boarding
statue of you
schools
on
would
the
be an
outside.
excellent
A
program.
Polytechnic
peasant
Institute for
farmer?
farmers.
Oh,
You think a peasant
they
farmer
could
could
learn
afford to
holo
go to
design
university?
and well, all the other technological necessities of
Receiving
farming.
reports from the 5th and
Right.
the 6th
You don't know, do
districts.
you? Not surprised.
We've only received 1% of the vote thus far. No useful data.
Who's it for, if I may
Focus
ask?
Campaign efforts on the rural areas.
Just
I
out of
suppose.
We
curiosity.
don't know yet.
You're asking for 1% of votes reported? Must be a pretty
It
desperate, Lord Chamberlain.
informs trends. It informs trends. Gen Z.
Now, Mr. Kosh, you're a Pantoran, of course. I understand that the Pantorans are very rich in their democracy. Is that so?
Correct.
Oh, I would see then that our people have so much in common, as our Bill of Rights has been established since the Rusan.
Perhaps there's some commonality.
I would be interested to visit your world one day.
Perhaps a coalition
a
will
very
make
one
it
day.
possible.
I
Certainly
do find
trying.
myself not often needing to leave Altuine. Everything I need is here.
Indeed.
Everything. So everything.
Although I do wish we had more Twi'lek women here.
Ah, yes, yes. In my
I
youth,
think that's a
I knew
sentiment
many
the
of
entire
them.
galaxy can wish.
That's right. Here, yes.
What did you say your name was again?
Kosh Balin.
Mr. Crash Balin, it's an honor to meet you. I am Zarodax. Yes.
Lovely to make your acquaintance, Mr. Dax.
Dax, yes. I would be interested in learning more of your planet sometime, perhaps.
I'd be happy to educate.
Lord Keeper, if you will please focus on the
I'm doing that, don't worry. Yeah.
So, Mr. Kosh, does your Pantoran democracy not practice census suffrage?
Universal.
What's the difference?
Everyone, whether or not they're a property owner, has the right to cast a vote.
Well, so do our people.
Right, but in a census, if I'm correct, only the homeowner or the property owner gets to
Receiving
cast a vote for the
excellent
entirety of the home.
and most
sorry,
righteous
wait, hold
news
on.
from the 7th District. Okay, yes.
Seventh
7th
district. Good
District's
polling results.
reporting in 70%, with monarchy leading by 10%.
As expected, Your Highness.
Charlie, we can call it. Can we call it?
It is
we
a
had to
Orento
wait
agricultural
for the
district. It's to be expected.
Harmony Minister, could it
Good
go the
people.
other way with the remaining 30?
It is technically possible.
It's
Not
statistically
particularly likely,
impossible.
however,
I agree.
deviations have been known to occur.
We waited for second
this time.
district. Let's wait for 7th district to be fully called in as well. Fair is fair.
But Prime Minister, I suppose the biggest difference is that every Pantoran citizen above the age of 60
We wait.
casts a vote.
Well, here, everyone casts a vote above the age of 18. Some of them cast few votes.
Your Highness,
Few votes.
Yes.
I wish to
I
make it
myself have
known
voted
that
twice.
no matter the outcome of this referendum, I stand ready to serve House Orento. Always and everywhere.
Alright, well, thank you.
Lord.
It's hard to get
If
million
I can
ballots
ask,
to the 7th
Prime
district.
Minister,
That's
has it possible cast two? I'm just trying to understand your system.
Well, as an office holder and member of the landed gentry and a noble, I cast 2 votes. That's my right, under the Bill of Rights that has been granted to us by the ancient ancestors of the Orento dynasty during the Rusan Reformation of the galaxy.
ANN is reporting further news.
Oh,
7th District is confirmed
trusted news source.
in voting for His Majesty. 5th District is reporting 60% with a Republican lean, and
They get things wrong
6th
sometimes.
is responding with 10, no, not 10. 30% small Republican lead.
30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. 30. most of the times.
So the
But
seventh
we were
district
calling the
was called.
7th. Yes, 7th District has been called in favor of Their Highness.
Ah,
So one more.
beautiful.
Providence has guided us through this day.
One more.
Congratulations.
Someone deal with that photographer.
He can take as many pictures as he'd like.
I'm not worried. We have 3.
Taking photos of His Majesty in private
You have
settings
3, Lord Chamberlain.
is highly disrespectful.
I'm not worried. You worried? I'm not
He may
worried.
take as many photos as he
I'm
likes.
quite confident in the prince's victory.
Of course.
As
Your
am I.
generosity knows
Of
no
course.
bounds.
Sealkeeper. After the return of Prince Leo and the ending of the Regency of Pariah, the alleged Majesty rules and provisions were rescinded by the crown.
Receiving
right.
further
That is
reports
right.
from the 6th District.
What is
With
that?
50% of the vote, Monarch, will you back away? I'm trying to use the computer.
Well, that indicated law anyway. Amazing Majesty.
With a
Not fit
Oh,
for
out
his
with it, man.
civilization.
slight monarchist lead over Republicans. Yes.
Great people. Great people.
Incredible.
Good people.
So half the votes left, Prime Minister. Won't get too excited yet.
Yes. Oh, I'm excited. For a great victory for Their Highness, the Prince.
Right. The prince.
Indeed. As projected. The data in the polls.
Tight, I think. Really tight.
You know, back in the day, I used to accompany His Majesty to the races. Yes. It was a good time.
Prime Minister, you want more of those smokes? Looks like you're out.
Yes, does anyone have another stick?
Yeah. I still have my case.
Will you cease your pacing? It's making me nervous.
I can't help it. I get nervous with this kind of stuff.
There you go.
Very eccentric.
Appreciated, Mr.
Cabinet.
Satinbad. Appreciated.
They're an interesting group, to say the least.
Bitter, bitter to back.
That's how you know it's working.
I'm afraid my bedtime is coming shortly. 6th District reporting in 75% with a lead in favor of the monarchy. No, oh wait, no. Apologies, I misread. Republicans up by 9%.
What?
Yes, 9%.
6th District, mainly mining.
The ballots might need to be counted again. There might be something wrong. There's
There's
After
nothing
all,
wrong, Lord
there-
Chamberlain.
the polls
We,
there
had
had
a
a lot of
strong
problems.
We had a strong showing there in the
I'm sure it'll
mining
be fine,
camps.
gentlemen.
The
The
local
miners
co-ops were
know.
quite
Any
positive
crowd
about the
gather for cameras. Polls don't
The
lie.
miners know their place in the
Don't
hierarchy,
worry about it. I'm sure.
and on the totem
We're up
pole,
in space news. We're up
we
in
should have
These men are
confidence in
warriors,
them
you know.
We
They
News
like to
Network.
worry.
We're
that
up.
the silent majority
Monarchy wins
come
5
through.
districts. The silent
Mainstream
majority.
poll
That's
news
right.
had us polled at 90%. Yes. The
The
silent majority will
majority, the
select
last-minute voters,
these
the
miners
people.
know their place
Good
in the
people.
system, and they accept
They
it
can count
with great
silent
valor
majority.
and honor.
And majority, I mean the people who haven't voted in the last, I don't know, 4 millennia of elections. And I think we're finally hearing their voice.
Yes, the overwhelming support for the monarchy is overwhelming.
I guess we'll see.
It almost makes me want to cry. It almost makes a tear come to my eye. Your father would be so proud.
What about the soldiers, the barracks in the 5th and 6th District? Have they reported yet? The soldiers will vote in favor of the monarchy.
They should vote whoever they wish to.
I assure you, they must vote for them. I don't see how they couldn't.
Frankly, as far as I'm concerned, the miners should be happy of the pittance pay they receive.
Require the barracks of the 5th and 6th and order them to vote in favor of. There's nothing that says that you can't order them to vote a certain way. It's not illegal.
Don't they swear an oath of protection to the sovereign and head of state?
They did. They did.
The armed forces can vote for whoever they want. The people of this planet can vote for whoever they want. This is not a question of how to bend the will of our people. This is here to measure the will of our people.
May I posit a thesis?
As you wish.
Well said.
I'm not worried.
Generally, you seem to be
May
burning
I put
a
forward
hole in marble
thesis, Your
somehow.
Highness?
It's exercise. Get your 10,000 steps in.
Yes. The people know not what they want.
There will be no more talk disparaging the will of the people of our planet.
Regardless of the outcome.
Polling data shows that they're in favor of you.
I concur entirely. There shall be no more disparagement of the House Verento. The will of the people of Halcyon. Right. To everything new. Right.
Be a great.
5th District is reporting of 87% of votes.
Done well.
Or
Monarchists with a very impressive lead of 1/10 of 1%.
that's fine.
A lead is a
That's
lead.
completely fine. Yep.
6th
Counting
District
is certainly
reporting
slowed down.
an issue with
It's
the
the rural area,
rural
the
district.
surveillance.
An issue?
input
What kind of issue?
of the polling machines. Yes. Polling
Tampering. It
machines.
has to be tampering.
Perhaps we ought to
These
calm
computers
down
are most
and chamber.
unreliable. The old ones were far better.
We shouldn't have allowed HoloNet ballots.
No, not at all.
Perhaps if the
Mail-in
election
ballots
commission
are completely
focused
fine.
on the rural areas more, there wouldn't be problems with the polling machines.
We need to find some more ballots. We need to find some more votes. And then the people of Altuin will have their sovereign and their providence.
Well, once the election results come in favor of the prince, His Highness's government under my care will see to it that the infrastructure in these rural places are improved for future election cycles.
Schools. Plenty of schools.
A great infrastructure
child a
reform
data site.
package. I'm sure I can get the Parliament to approve. What's going on with 6th District?
It's hopeful enough.
Our polling machines are broken. We're counting.
They're recounting them.
What else you want them to
What was
do?
wrong with the count before? What was wrong with the count
The
before
machines
then?
were broken, apparently. This is what happens when you start importing instead of producing domestically.
We had a lead, and now
Bloody Both and
if
polling
they're
machines.
recounting,
You didn't have a lead. 6th district, we were up by 9% last count.
We should make sure
The
that that's
people-
correct. I
The
am
people
completely
of the
fine with them
second district are reporting
Right, of
spontaneous demonstrations of pride for their country and for their planet. Yes.
Good.
Spontaneous.
Excellent.
Yes. Right. 6 districts, 3 counties. 1/4 of the way in. With Republicans up by 9.5%. It's 9.5.
Not a recount if it's not even going to change anything.
Very concerning. Yes.
To make sure the people's
It's
voice is
what
heard, Chamberlain.
we expected with that district.
This
Yes.
demonstration of the lack of vision and purpose from that district is concerning.
I said there would be no more disparity of the voters, Lord Keeper.
Of course. Of course. Receiving reports from 5th district reporting 90% of the votes. With Republican lead of it's 3.2.
It's too early to call. Can't call it yet.
At 90%.
Would the
Yes,
results
Whoever else
change?
will probably
It's
determine
too
it.
early to call.
Would the
Margin.
results
Let it
change?
run.
No, not much.
A margin
the news
is
call
less than 50% of the
Well,
remaining tally. It is still statistically likely that the margin will hold, however, it is also not statistically significant yet.
might I suggest upon our electoral victory, we engage in a program of learning of decorum and tradition to these rural districts. I think they would
Child
certainly
dance.
appreciate.
We shall see.
Looks like it's gonna come down to one.
There
5th
should be more
district
infrastructure
reports
like
after
it
it. I
is.
agree with that.
Wait,
Probably not a tradition.
92% of votes with a monarchist lead of 3.5%. No, Republican lead, apologies.
Still
6th
too close
district
to
Right,
call.
Lord Chamberlain.
is
Too
reporting
close. Too close.
55% of votes with
I guess if you want to be anal about it, it is
with a
still within
Republican
the margin
lead
of errors.
of 8%.
It also gonna
We'll-
assuage your
We
concerns.
will allow the media to call these last two, please.
Of course, Your Grace.
So those at ANN are humble servants of House Sorrento. O2.
They get things wrong, though. Not entirely trustworthy.
We were just singing their praises not too long ago. About how ANN is the most trustworthy news source.
But they get it
All
wrong
of us. I did
sometimes.
qualify
Nothing's
it.
infallible.
5th district is reporting
Exactly. Are you
93%. With a Republican
believe I
lead
am,
of
no.
3.6%.
Exactly my point.
Just let me know about the 5th district when they call it.
Yes,
It's so.
yes.
What?
Excellent. Let's see here. It seems ANN is calling. Yes, yes. Come on. Work, damn you.
I love the artwork. Yeah.
5th district has been called for the Republicans.
By who?
Yes.
ANN.
Oh,
Oh, what do they know that we don't? I have man on the
Orion
ground
Star
there.
has always been a partisan hack, as far as I'm concerned.
Lord
We've
Keeper,
been
what did I
hiring
say?
new editors who've writing
Nyla
stories
Dawn
that
was
are
still the editor-in-chief.
Bloody
This
liberals.
would not
Lord
be an issue.
Keeper, you are out of line.
Yes, I apologize,
So
Lord.
is that it? Are we to accept ANN's calling? Or should we wait?
Yes.
Down to the wire.
You heard the
Believe
prince.
the
He's
prince
called it.
spoken.
Prince Sorrento. Me and my colleagues in the Altuin Republican Coalition, thank you for allowing us the opportunity to express our wishes.
I
Population.
I thought that red
That was called for the Republicans.
ours.
That was called for the
Oh, my mistake.
It's not
There's
over
still
yet.
one more. There's still one more district.
Self.
I'm sure they'll find some votes. We needn't be worried.
Perhaps you have to
Public Coalition is quite confident.
Down to the 6th.
Rural districts all always gone to us.
Well, we'll see.
No, the lower class have great love for their leader. Receive news coming in from the 6th district. 75% of votes in. Republican lead by 7.5%.
questionable best.
I was led to believe these are good people.
ANN is reporting.
Cut the 10.
Yes. ANN has just called the referendum for the Republicans. The 6th district has been voted and won by the Republicans.
So they say.
Well, there you have it.
That is it.
The Lord Chamberlain is faint.
And anyone going to pick that man up?
Please,
He'll be
guards.
alright.
Chamberlain. Chamberlain, you alright?
Well,
Hey.
Prince Sorrento, if you wouldn't mind, I have to step out. Call my colleagues of the Republican Coalition.
Prime Minister.
General Secretary. Although
Yes,
things
Lord
did not
Keepers.
go in the favor of our side, I do wish you congratulations on your victory.
Not my victory, Lord Keeper.
Your Grace,
Victory of the people.
All2 is most
Well,
humbled
excuse
by
me. I'd have to
your
call my colleagues.
chance
Providence,
that you've given the
protect
people.
us.
A chance for republicanism.
Secretary,
Your graciousness is
Prime
Aiden just
Minister.
called
most
us
well
for
done.
the referendum.
Of course.
The Ministry for
Get the
Internal
press
Harmony
release out.
Yeah, he'll be
is
alright.
monitoring an evolving situation of a sensitive nature.
Yeah. Get our man on the grounds as well.
Well, I guess he's still in charge until they have a
I'd
new
recommend
general.
that we
Alright,
should go
ready
to
a
the
press pool as well.
headquarters
I'm gonna make a statement
handle
once
the
all
situation.
things finished up.
Now you're
Right. Alright. Good to hear.
Yes, of course.
Alright, bye.
an interesting situation.
Yeah. Thanks.
I'll join you in just one moment if you would wait for me.
Your Highness,
Yes.
I have been informed of a sensitive situation currently involving the referendum would propose to give you a briefing. However, we must be in a secured environment.
Right, then, let's go.
Only yourself and forces of sufficient clearance.
In the rural district, where I rate some rallies up.
Cost should come.
However,
That's for the victory that was brought to us by
very
the rural
well.
districts. We want to thank them for their patriotism.
Your Highness, a word, please. Curious. Your Highness, please, a word. We'd like to know. Why did you show up not wearing your ceremonial garb? It's a little bit curious, don't you think? It's almost as if you came here forgetting about us.
I need not forget about the people of this planet. I've come here bearing a more grounded presentation.
Is it not true that you didn't arrive until the very last minute? Curious how you only show up till the very end. Did no one tell you this was happening?
I was informed. My duties in the Coalition made it harder to get here on time.
My fellow anchors at Fug News Network would have you believe that you care more about the Coalition than you do your own planet. Care to make any comments?
The fight against the Empire is a fight that is our planet's issue. Not too long ago, the Empire occupied this planet and made it their place of oppression. We have a responsibility to make sure that that doesn't happen anywhere else in the galaxy. Now, please.
Good answer. The guy can answer as good as that.
That's what I believe.
Only the truth. Somebody's happy tonight.
The operations room is just this way.
Of course.
Very well. Prior to the election, or rather referendum, the Ministry of Internal Harmony was paying attention to particular outlying districts that had irregular support for Prince Pariah. Our preliminary reports show that General Secretary Strathenbad has taken money from, we believe, an imperial oligarch by the name of Telon Dusk of the Besh Network, who we, at this time, believe is Pariah's personal steward and bankroller. Further, we have speculative reports that the 6th District have currently reported 115% in out-turning. Minders in the various polling stations have reported that several persons known to be deceased have had their votes counted for Republicans, and rural votes are alarmingly overperforming by several standard deviations. A full investigation would be warranted, but would likely take weeks.
Well,
Weeks that could cause chaos if we were to determine that the outcome would need to be reversed.
the only way that we would be appropriate to do anything like that is if we had hard evidence that we could show. We can't just
Sufficient
reverse
evidence.
an election.
Sufficient evidence would require an extensive investigation, and the Ministry of Internal Harmony is certainly capable of proving irregularities in polling. However, if we reveal the nature and sources of our foreign intelligence, it could damage the coalition.
Never be easy, can it?
Sounds to me that this is... well, this invalidates the referendum.
Sir,
how long would it
Your
take?
Highness.
Is it until the Parliament holds their vote to verify the results of the election?
Oh, my lord, you're currently the sovereign and commander-in-chief. The referendum is yours to uphold. It's by your right.
The referendum is technically not legally binding. Further, a forensic audit could take weeks, especially due to the fact that those particular districts are led by aldermen that are intransigent with our representatives. However, there is a stark concern. We could be potentially transferring power to another imperial puppet.
That's all we need.
If there's any shadow of a doubt that the votes were not completely legitimate, I do believe we should validate it. But whatever you choose, I'm with you.
Gosh.
Well,
What do you think?
well, it's certainly an interesting situation, but it doesn't make much sense. Why would General Secretary help to fight and drive the Imperials off, just for them to invite them back?
Well, we can't exactly speculate as to their intent. However, I can say in the meantime, our preliminary reports are not mere speculation. However, if I had to speculate, I would say that the Arentian people rebelled because of a monarch. If they had dispelled their monarch, then they would become regular imperial subjects upon the annexation back into the empire.
Well, if there's no hard evidence to the fact, it's only appropriate that an investigation goes on and the ascension of the referendum results is postponed until concrete evidence can be determined, and then whatever has to happen then. I mean, if you explain it to the people, Leo, I'm sure they'll understand.
General
Double-check
Secretary of the
everything.
Republicans did support the prince when we were ousting the Imperial.
That's what I don't understand.
I still can't get past that either. If they wanted power so bad, if he was working for the Empire, they could have appointed him as the puppet prime minister. Doesn't matter much, in my opinion.
Right, it doesn't make any sense. It's gone to them.
And
But if there's
how long
irregularities to be investigated, it's also
and how long would an investigation take? I can't imagine postponing the results of the referendum would
A forensic
make it
recount. A forensic recount would involve persons going through vote by vote, district by district. We're talking about an entire recount, unless we wish to scrutinize one district in particular. However, that would not make the government look very even-handed. A broad forensic recount could take weeks. A narrow forensic recount could take days. However, it would damage the legitimacy of the government if it only targeted areas with what we would describe as high discrepancies, and then discover that subversives were undermining our government and, in the name of democracy, throwing out their vote.
We don't have weeks. We don't even have days. The referendum is public. The people are already shooting off fireworks.
I'm sure if Leo explains to the people the irregularity of the situation, they'll be happy to comply.
It would just look like we're holding back the results of the election.
Be riots in the streets.
You'd have to
have a
explain
revolution.
yourself. The people would understand.
Plus, the General Secretary of the Republican Party maintains a paramilitary wing.
I think the General Secretary should be here for this, considering the circumstances.
We can't bring him into our intelligence chamber.
I don't see why not. Brought me in here. If the Sovereign
Where are
wills
you
it, he can bring anyone he'd like.
Mr. Balin, I believe the General Secretary is a collaborator. He must have known the source of these funds.
And all this
He would
information
be-
was only just discovered? You had no knowledge of this prior to the election?
We were directed to, under no circumstance, disrupt the referendum.
But you didn't think that would be imprudent to disclose to the Prince?
The Prince has only been present for the previous 2 hours.
I guess all the communicators on the planet don't work.
Well, my government has been aware of some irregularities, but that is the cost of doing democracy. This is unprecedented and could only have been discovered through the course of the voting.
I find that irregular in my own sense.
There is some amount of discord and shock, as well as collaborators harboring amongst our once harmonious people. For generations, the Ministry of Internal Harmony has kept the peace. However, we have never had to deal with the circumstance of a broader galactic civil war and a pretender to the throne excising and establishing a power base for months. There is going to be some damage and detritus left behind. Imperial intelligence are crafty, and frankly, we are novices compared to their preparations. It is hard to believe that there would be any way to conduct an election so close to the end of occupation without some amount of chaos.
I told you that Saturn bat is a snake in the grass. Snake in the grass, Ian.
Well, I'll tell you what I think, Leo. But you'll have to be the one to make the decision. What's going on? Postpone the vote until the recount can be done. And inform the General Secretary, and question him if you have to. Commit a full investigation, do whatever you have to do. Because the people already know the results, and if you don't announce it, they know something's going to be up. So you have to tell them the truth of what's going on.
Your Grace, if a significant portion of the High Command of the Republican faction are pro-Imperial sleeper agents, that will just trigger an instant civil war before the military is prepared. It would take months without immediate intervention with the coalition. Further, per your directive to cooperate with coalition forces and coalition political strata, we have been subservient to coalition intelligence. Many of our sources and methodologies have been loaned to us from the coalition. Any disclosure of that sensitive information without permission of the coalition could damage the coalition's war effort.
And even if there are no Imperial actors here, the Republicans already fought a campaign in your name. They're still active. Their army is still active. They would begin a guerrilla campaign, regardless of if they're Imperial backed or not. People are ruthless.
That's why you must explain the situation. You leave them in the dark, of course they'll revolt.
Explain the situation to the same people who came to His Highness when his planet had just been usurped by evil fascists and pushed a referendum upon him in his moment of weakness, at the detriment of all of the planet and the people.
They offered it their assistance. They were not willing. If Leo had said no to the referendum, they wouldn't have bloody well fought.
Your coalition didn't send enough forces to liberate our whole planet from those stormtroopers. Put us in a position where we needed the support of the Republican Guard to take back the entirety of the planet. We had no choice. It's blackmail.
Either outcome places significant risk of immediate civil war. However, in keeping with the Prince's fiats, I must remind the Prince, any dissension on this planet will affect the galaxy at large. A notable civil war on one of the core worlds of the Galactic Coalition would either require that the Galactic Coalition come and put down the civil war, and thus be perceived by the galaxy at large as no better than the Empire, or to allow a core world to accede and return to Imperial rule.
Karabast is the coalition for all I care now. We don't want a war on our planet.
Prime Minister, our sovereign is still sovereign. His fiat is to cooperate with the coalition in all matters. Their perspective is our perspective.
Yes, you're right. You're getting very heated. Apologize.
Okay.
I don't think you have a lot of options.
I recommend a
What do you
consultation with coalition intelligence. I am frankly out of my depth.
So,
what are they going to tell us that we don't already know?
Whether or not they suspect Imperial intervention, or it was a regular election.
Even if they do suspect it, you'll still have the same problem.
Yes, but they are our partners.
clarify, our options are let the referendum go, Republican government that is perhaps conspiring with the Empire, or hold a sweeping investigation that would illegitimize our government anyway, and it would most likely lead to civil war. Am I getting this right?
I still think if you tell the people, Leo, that they will understand and allow the investigation to take place. People seem reasonable to me.
Your Highness, if we allow an Imperial rump state to take over once more, they will disarm the populace, install their own people, and we will once again be under an oppressor's hand.
Starting to get a bit fear-mongering, don't you think? You don't even have evidence.
Our duty as intelligence officers are only to deal with the probabilities. By the time something has become a certainty, it is a fait accompli. The question is, who do you trust to make the decision? Do you trust the Republicans, or do you trust yourself?
The news is already starting to run conspiracy theories. We got to do something fast.
I think it's time for...
Burden of government, Leo.
All right. Can't have a government that is possibly conspiring with the Empire, but we don't have enough evidence. Getting the evidence would only harm the government. Doesn't look like we have a half measure here.
Now, Your Highness, you must decide who will guard your people's safety and liberty. The Republicans or yourself?
Kosh, what do you think? Between those two options.
Said I don't think it's the only options. Still think there's a third way. But if I had to pick, I'd go with the voice of the people. And deal with the consequences. But I don't want to influence it. It's your home. Doing my best not to espouse my beliefs all over the place.
Prince, be assured that on back to the and your ring. Pass.
We go with the results of the election.
As Your Majesty wishes. Would Your
We
Majesty
don't have enough
direct
evidence
that?
to prove anything.
Would Your Majesty order that we safeguard coalition property and intelligence?
Yes. If,
Very well.
I think it's better to
Adjutant, remove all references to coalition
safer here.
intelligence and all references to Section 2.8 from the database.
Well,
It will
have
be
the
done.
Parliament verify the results of the election.
We will
Inform them that
discontinue.
inform them that upon the ratification that I will abdicate.
Yes, my lord. It will be done.
We'll continue to monitor the planet should anything go wrong. But I'll do so as a member of the coalition, not as the sovereign of this planet.
While you were away, we'll find anything.
If I find anything, you'll be the first to know.
Are there any other orders you would like to give before the House of Arento is stood down for an eternity?
I'd like to meet with the secretary.
And the palace, my lord.
What about it?
Would you like to meet in the palace? I can have it arranged.
Yes. Have it arranged.
All right. That all?
That's all.
Shall we go?
Yes.
Are you the last prime minister that Altuin shall ever have? In office for a whole bloody day.
Well, you know, you could say you've been Prime Minister of Altu a lot more than other people, at least.
Could always be re-elected, Prime Minister.
The statement.
God.
Why has he refused to release a statement on the referendum? I, for one, find it curious that he slunked away into the inner city. Move the camera. Move the camera.
one last time.
Me. I'll reach back to you. Alright, bye.
Secretary?
Sorrento,
Providence, forgive me.
I haven't received news yet from your court about the referendum. Anything you want to talk to me about?
I've made it
right.
clear to the Prime Minister that he is to ratify the results of the election, and I will abdicate.
Understand. I think it was the correct choice. The will of the people was met, and I believe that this was not the correct way for all to carry on.
I agree.
Well, I guess we can call you Citizen Orento now, couldn't we? Or Mr. Orento. Perhaps Lieutenant
Yes.
Orento.
Yes. Well, my only request is that you lead, whoever comes up leads these people true.
Well, the current government will start new elections within the month, and hopefully the month should be enough to have more parties apart from the center party to form to represent the various constituencies. Hopefully within the next year we'd have a flourishing democracy.
Well, thank you.
Sorrento.
Secretary.
Prime Minister, you as well. Nice working with you for the day.
Mr. Lorento,
The gods will not forgive you for what you've done.
perhaps you might be interested in
Of
running
course
for
they
chancellor.
wouldn't. Surely the gods wouldn't wish to House of Orento lose.
You have
This wasn't
experience
their
in
wish.
governance. We would be honored to have you.
Didn't I say I was
I think
the
it's got a
divine
good
will of
ring,
kings,
Chancellor.
Prime Minister?
Didn't think
So
I'd
divine as well, then.
hear that today. Huh.
It's only natural, I
You'll doom us
suppose.
all.
Then yes, maybe I should run for Chancellor.
An excellent idea, if I may say.
Looks like you won't see the last of me. Looks like. Perhaps
Oh, Prime
That
Minister,
way,
we should talk
it would
about
be
that
better.
transition government. We have much to discuss.
In a moment. Your Highness.
Prime Minister.
Can't help but feel that they've been down poor servant you today. I can't help but feel that I've been poor servant to you today, my lord.
This is your.
I feel that I've been poor servant to you today, my lord.
You've not been a poor servant. You've been an excellent servant for people of this planet.
No. I failed the House Orento. And the whole planet.
You've done no such thing.
I will be the last Prime Minister in the history of Halcyon. A lineage thousands of years. Be the last prince. Last prince.
It's a lineage that will be proud to continue into a modern age, Prime Minister.
Could have done more.
There wasn't more to be done.
No. Done much more.
Well, that's done now. And like I said, perhaps you'll see me again. I know that these people still mean a great deal to me, whether I'm their sovereign or not.
I wish your father were still here. When times were more simple. And things were happier.
Things are more complex. One thing I learned is it doesn't mean that it's worse. I trust you'll find a new home in democracy.
We had a democracy. But, as you wish.
Prime Minister. Well, it seems that's it.
Your Majesty.
Grab your shit, Vant.
Yeah. And we'll make one final walk to the spaceport as the sovereign of the planet.
Before you leave, Sorrento.
Yes.
You've been our planet's main contact, the wider coalition, for the past few years. And as a planet with not much access to the wider net, the Halcyon Republican Coalition wanted to nominate you as our representative. The Coalition Congress, as you've already attended there, and know the people's world. We do not have anyone more suited for the role at the moment, and we believe you would be able to serve your people well in that pursuit, even if not as sovereign, but as representative of the people and their wishes.
Well, it would be my honor to represent the people. Thank you, all of you, for all the work you've done. I think it's time for me to go.
Safe flying back. Force be with you.
Grace.
Lord, to make your acquaintance.
Did exterior
nice of them?
influences influence the former prince? I, for one, am curious of why there's a blue man following him around. More on this Kosh Raven as we go.
Bloody prick.
I think I made the right
Give me my-
decision, General.
But if it is and appointed you out to it to Congress, that means they would have an unwitting mole in about what you report. what I'm saying is that if it turns out that the General Secretary is in bed with the Empire, you need to be careful about what you report back to him going on. Understand?
If evil comes back to this planet, General, there will be a force of good that gets it out. I don't need to be the prince for that.
I suppose not. It will be
Can't
weird,
my
though.
blast coming back, General. Don't have to worry about that.
I don't doubt it.
Planet's far too not ruled by the Empire.
I don't believe that people of this planet would sell themselves for another Imperial occupation. They don't need a strong central figure for that.
So, I have a personal question for you.
Of course.
What should I address you as now? Should I continue to call you Prince, or what would you prefer?
Whatever's best for you.
Prince it is. Well, regardless of the outcome of this, it's good to see you again.
As was you. You'll continue to serve this planet well, I'm sure of that.
Do my utmost to... I will keep in touch, as I've always done.
Of course. I'll need a man on the inside to represent our government.
Of course.
General.
Stay safe. Balin.
I think you made the right choice, even though it was a hard one, Leo.
When my father died, I promised to uphold his legacy. I guess time will tell if this is the legacy he wanted. Let's go.
Yeah, time to get out of here. Home sweet home.
Yeah.
Boss,
Yes,
on.
boss.
Hello. I was just out here to get fresh air.
To the right.
Yeah.
Well,
It's good to be back. Yep. Was it
Interesting,
me.
to say the least. Give us a minute. Yeah, alright.
I get the feeling that
Don't know how to hold yourself.
Welcome back.
It's just
Feels different, right?
I've always
like a
been
different
okay
person.
with this. I've always told myself I was alright with it. It's hard when you've been one thing your whole life.
Hello, hello.
Alright, kid.
Yes.
I see you wearing your,
Yeah.
got your old uniform back on. Any particular reason for that?
You sure?
Maybe we should leave you two sovereigns to chat. Jackson, come with me for a minute, would you?
Yeah. If you need me, you know it's fine, mate.
Yeah. Come on,
So,
let's get some air.
What happened?
What's on your mind?
The Republicans won.
I'm sorry.
It's not that. I'm not sad that I'm not the prince anymore, that I knew what I was getting into. But it's just... How do you be one thing for your whole life? And then suddenly have to be something else?
The galaxy has its way of throwing its hardballs, kid. And this is probably the biggest one you'll get for a while.
I agreed to the referendum. I knew that, honestly, more than likely that it would pass. Who would vote to stay under the rule of a single person?
You serve the interests of your people. You are the last, but you are the greatest in that respect. Because you did what no other man is brave enough to do, especially one so young.
All that I know is, more than ever, I have a renewed sense of purpose here. In a way, it's already been my new home.
That's good. So you don't have subjects anymore. You have subordinates. You have people who look up to you, who trust you. They need you.
I'll still be representing Altuin in the Congress.
The Republicans agreed to that.
I got appointed as the representative of the planet.
It's not that they're not grateful for you. That's for damn sure.
Like I said, it's not the title, it's
the purpose.
I think it was the last thing I had left of my father.
What was he like?
Overprotective, sometimes distant, occasionally rude. But he loved me, and he loved our people more than I think he ever could have expressed.
Then he'd be proud of you, beyond measure.
Yeah. I think he would. He always stressed doing what was right. He took it to his grave, the Empire.
Aye. I think now that Prince Leo is gone, you can focus now on being Lieutenant Arento of the Coalition. More so than ever before.
Yeah. I'm ready for that. I am.
I think you are as well.
We should go inside.
Yeah. Not kidding.
Pretty good, Deck.
Sounds like it. What happened?
Hear anything from Way?
I think someone hit
while
the
we were
ship
gone?
again.
Nothing yet.
And one of your boys accidentally smacked the side of the Phantom again. Do you have a bucket of paint I can use to touch it up?
There's paint out there. Just paint.
He'll be alright, Rush.
Oh, we will. It's time.
Never mind, it was me. It was me, never
What
mind.
happened?
His world had a referendum. He's longer prince. They abolished the monarchy.
You know, I don't think they make a greeting card for that.
Not bleeding anymore, at least.
You're dark, Hex.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he'll bounce back.
He will.
You know,
Not doubt in my mind.
how do you go from being something that you were your whole life to not being that anymore? He'll be alright.
Alright, speaking about something that you were your whole life and you can't be anymore, Captain. If I'm going to be your wingman, we're going to have to work on your flying.
Oh boy. Well, you ready for that promotion, Balin? Because it might be coming soon.
Me? No thanks.
Lieutenant?
I'm still getting used to the job.
That was a quick change of clothes.
Everyone has to have a talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
All of us can't be wine tasters like you.
Oh, wine's
I
what
think
he's
I had a bit of
tasting.
flair to it. I can appreciate the understated look. Certainly is a nice one.
He certainly wasn't tasting wine in our last race. He was tasting my Stardust.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, but what do you expect?
That X-Wing Vapors taste, Starblaze.
Hey?
You heard me.
You're cheeky. You're the second person to give me lip today. Tell you what.
He's making a list and checking it twice.
Well, listen, you got me for now, Lieutenant, because...
Gotta find out who gets left behind when we have to go on the run for something.
Right.
By the stars, I know sometime soon, General's gonna call me back up to that criffing ops room.
Yeah.
Well, it's just out there in the speeder. The first marker is clear, so.
Oh. So I've gone fishing a bit recently.
No, you've lost me.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, it's not bad.
I know. You're damn good too.
Yeah, I like it. It's alright. I can see the
Let's grab
appeal.
some air.
Okay.
Gents.
See you in a bit.
Wait, am I going with you or am I going with him?
Do you want to go? You're my wingman. I imagine you'd want to.
I would not want to see that.
Good luck to Lampo.
Yeah, I'll be alright.
I know it doesn't mean much to come from me, but I think you did the right thing.
I think so too.
Good. Well, I'm sure that you'll bounce back fine. Title doesn't make a man.
Green flight to control. Green 1 and 2 will be dusting off.
I think I'm figuring that out.
So am I.
Regardless,
You're cleared for your takeoff.
Prince or not, we'll have a representative.
Copy, Green 1 taking off.
Rotating.
And you'll do
Yeah,
a
that
bloody
made you a
good job.
representative.
Hey, blast it all.
Good luck.
Yeah, I won't be here a moment.
Is there a problem, Green 1?
Get the camera on a hologram.
Copy that. Should be coming through now.
Your Highness,
Admiral,
I just heard the news. What happened?
the Republicans won the referendum. I'm no longer the Prince of Altuin.
How could this have happened?
It was voted on and I kept my word.
Shit. What are your thoughts on the matter?
I wonder what Dad would have thought.
I imagine he would have wondered if you trusted your gut and went with your heart.
Well, I think that I did.
And I'm sure he'd be proud.
I imagine he is. I just almost in a way, it's another way I've seen him leave. The last way.
I can see how that would be tough. Wish I had some smart advice to give you. I had my father until I was a lot older in life.
I'm just ready to bury my head in the continued work of the Coalition. There's a lot that still needs to be done.
I think that's the only thing you can do. Speaking of that work,
Chairman Papanoida wants to speak to you about Altuine's new relationship with the Coalition.
Right, we'll speak later then.
Let me know if you need anything. Leo.
Of course, Admiral.
Halcyon.
Is this thing on?
Chairman Papanoida.
Where are you in, Prince Leo? It's very dark in here.
One of the Coalition's bases. I trust you've heard the news.
I've just been informed, both from a communique from Altuine by the Republican National Coalition. And,
Yes,
by Nate as well.
Yes, they won the referendum, and keeping with my word, I abdicated.
Right. Well, if you want my personal opinion, as a Pantoran, well, I believe the will of the people will always be followed. Or else we don't have any way to derive legitimacy for our constituents. However,
I agree.
as the current chairman, as well as leader of the Congress, I am wary of our support in Altuine that might decrease. Our latest reports was that these men were quite isolationist. What is your read on the situation?
The new government's appointed me to represent the planet in the Coalition. As far as I read, they trust me to represent on the planet's behalf on that stage. Only time will tell their final position on the Coalition, but the Secretary is a good man.
Give me an updated status report on screen, please.
His will to fight the Empire is rivaled only by ours.
That's good, but fighting the Empire isn't the only thing. We also have our governance. If we lose the vote of Altuine, the Unitarians will be very, very close to not being able to pass any legislation. And I'm not sure how solidly they're on the side of the Unitarians. Maybe if you have any talks with your constituencies, you should always seem to remind them the work the Unitarians will do. But, of course, we can't force our constituencies to do stuff they would not wish to do.
Well, as a democratic figure of my planet now, I'm sure I'll be making many campaign trips.
That would be appropriate. Campaign trail is something else, Lieutenant. It's exhilarating, sometimes scary, oftentimes very tiring. But I believe it's worth it once the people decide what way they want to go. I can't say I have experienced a similar feeling as being entrusted by the millions across my planet to lead them in the way they deem is best. It's something else.
We'll make sure that I can assure you that as of right now, Altuine's commitment to the Coalition is just as strong as it's ever been.
That's very good to hear. The Altuine Blasters have been quite a help, especially when reinforcing our tertiary garrisons and some disparate militia groups.
And they should continue.
Thank you for your efforts, Lieutenant.
Of course, Chairman.
Chairman Papanoia. Good evening.
Oh, Prince Lampire.
Pleasure to see you again. Even if it's over hollow.
And you as well.